FDR Center here in Nashua, New Hampshire. We also have another office in Burlington, Massachusetts. We make artificial limbs and braces. And I've been doing this for 32 years, and I have to say it's the most fulfilling career anybody could possibly have. One of the things that's really special about what we do is we have people that come in with different types of problems, from anywhere from strokes and brain injuries and cerebral palsy and muscular dystrophy to people that have leg amputations and arm amputations. And pretty much what we get to do is act like little mechanics and work on the human body and do what we can to try to solve some problems. Very fulfilling work. Some days I feel like I'm Santa Claus, you know. We get to have the little elves run around and build things, and we get to you know, surprise people with their new device. And today's going to be a special day for us here. And we've got someone who's going to be receiving some new braces for their legs. And can't wait to see how it works out.
Hello, my name is Marmaduke Lope from Dynamic Bracing Solutions, and I'm here helping FDR Center, Prosthetics and Orthotics, Paul Harney, and I'd like to introduce Frank. Frank was injured, he's a Marine, was injured in the service, and has had a hard time with conventional bracing up until now. Had a desire to do a lot more activity, heavy duty. He does heavy duty lifting and all kinds of mud runs and all kinds of really crazy stuff, right? And so what they realized is that conventional bracing was not allowing him to get to that next level. And so because of the alignment issues and the weaknesses that he has on his right leg, I was called in by Paul to help Frank out to get a high-end dynamic. It's almost like a Blade Runner, but for people with limbs. And so he's able to run with it. In fact, we just had him running a little bit ago, and he said he now needs one for his other leg. And because he felt like this one was giving him a lot more spring action. So Frank, is there anything you would like to say?
No, up until recently, I've mostly had to put together several braces, layered one on top of the other in order to do the things that I wanted to do, because one single brace, it would either be too weak or too restrictive or what have you. So I came here initially just for a walking brace, and after talking to Paul, he said that he knew a guy that might be able to get me back to doing what it is that I love doing, and that's, as Marmaduke said, a bunch of crazy things. So I got authorization through the VA for this, and we came down, Marmaduke came out, made a cast of my leg, built this brace, and I can't believe how well it works. I actually sprinted out in the parking lot for the first time in forever, instead of galloping, which is what I've had to do in the past, because my lower right leg is both sensory and motor nerve paralyzed. I don't feel it. It doesn't move correctly. I've got severe drop foot, so I can't lift my foot. So if I don't wear a brace, I have to high step. If I run, I have to gallop. If I jump, it's with one leg, which is rather inconvenient at times. And although this is the first day that I've ever tried running or doing any activity in this particular brace, it already works amazingly well. And as Marmaduke said, when I was outside, I actually feel like my left leg is now the weaker one when this brace is on.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. we can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell.
All of my hopes this year, for the first year, I'm planning to sign up for both Go Rucks and Spartan races to really test this thing out.
Well, I cannot tell you how excited I'm feeling today, because this is a big moment. You know, for those of us who work in rehabilitation, to be able to have these type of outcomes is very gratifying. It's what we came into this kind of field to hope to achieve. And after 32 years of doing this kind of thing, I have to say, this is as good as you can possibly do. And I'm very excited for Frank, but I'm also excited for myself, because this is big today.
Again, this is very rewarding for us, but really the people that make us look good are the people that use it. Our job is to enable the person to regain their quality of life, but it's the individuals brave enough to actually utilize the technology.
I just want to thank Paul and Marmaduke. Without these two guys, I wouldn't be able to do this at all. Although I haven't been able to do much because I just started wearing this thing, but I have hopes of doing things now that would have just been dreams before.
Hello, my name is Marmaduke Lope from Dynamic Bracing Solutions, and what we've developed here is a triplanar dynamic response AFO, which assists on better standing, weight activated or gravity assisted standing, but also gravity assisted walking. We're the first ones to get the first wounded warriors to go back into full active duty. The first person ever fit is still active duty today after 9 years. These, for people who have alignment issues and weaknesses, some people, especially like Margaret, had issues with standing balance. And when you align somebody properly on both legs, then all of a sudden, instead of moving around or touching or having to hold on to something, they can now just stand and relax if we align them properly. Now the other is, this has a dynamic response, so it does flex. And we also have a split toe design, which enables for uneven terrain. So what we do is very meticulously align the 26 bones in all 3 dimensions. We will correct deformities, we will prevent deformities. There are different types of foot designs, but each foot and limb are unique, even from between left and right. So this, the foot goes in this way, and then the shoe holds on. And so really, from the front, the only thing you see is right in front of the knee. In the back, this is a lot more open, a lot more supportive, but also allows a lot more airflow. So a lot of the plastic and conventional braces, one, they twist too much, they don't hold in all 3 dimensions, and yet that's what humans need, is being controlled and managed in all 3 dimensions. So, when they walk, and so they're balanced.
Hi, my name is Greta Russell, and I want to show you how I can stand. I can stand like this for a long, long time, and without these on, I can't even stand up. So it's a most amazing thing to be able to stand. It's wonderful.
So here's another thing is, because we have her balanced and meticulously balanced in 3 dimensions, I could push her pretty hard. Now, here she can't stand without them, but she is very stable.
Which is lucky, because I've had people run into me.
Right.
Yeah,
So now in a crowd, she doesn't have to be so afraid.
right, right.
Right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so how have these helped you?
Okay, so I can walk up to 8 miles with these on. I've traveled to Germany, Austria with them, and through security, you know, no problem. And I can go up some slight hills, pretty strong, and I can walk in the woods with them, with my walking poles, and my life is absolutely transformed. Otherwise, I would be in a wheelchair.
My name's Irene, and I'm a friend of Margaret. We call her Greta. And I've been a friend for over 20 years. And I was with her when she first met Marmaduke, and she first got these dynamic braces. She calls them moon gliders. She named them moon gliders because she actually feels like gliding. They're just a marvelous way for her to keep walking.
Hi, my name is Marina Musicus. I'm a certified prosthetist orthotist here at FDR Center. And what we do here is we make arms and legs for amputees, like Mr. Enright, who you just saw walking. The prostheses that we make are functional, and we try to make them perfect for each person. So everybody has different needs, and we try to meet those needs and goals of each of our patients. Today, we are adjusting Mr. Enright's prosthesis. He feels like it's very heavy, it's not fitting him quite perfectly, and he's getting some impingement in the back of his knee. So we're going to do some adjustments to make it feel more comfortable. What I'm going to do first is heat up this inner liner and see if we can get that to come and fold down over the back of the prosthesis. These materials heat at different temperatures, so I can heat up the inner liner and it won't heat up the socket. Material heats up pretty quickly. Good thing I have no more nerve endings in my fingers, or else this would be very hot. We're going to do this side. One's a little hot. I'm just going to use a material barrier. Now there's a little bit of extra material back here that I don't want to hit the back of his knee, so I'm actually going to mark this and grind that off in a minute. Just like that. Cool. Then the other thing that we want to do is add some pre-tibial pads to the front of the socket to help hold the residual limb up a little bit farther in the socket so that he doesn't get so much force on the end of the limb. So what we're going to do is pull this apart. This is a very special socket that comes apart with a boa closure, which is really fun. And then this inner liner, we can put some pads in it, inside the liner. So let's do that. So I'm going to grab some foam. Let's see what we get. We're going to use some black foam. Pieces. And then I need to shape them correctly so they hit the correct part of the limb. You don't want them sitting right on bone. You want them on the soft tissue that will deform. So I'm looking at the shape of the limb and where I can put pressure. Sit right here, like this, on the sides of the socket, just like that. And they look thin, but that's often enough, or even more than enough, material addition to really make a difference in how the socket fits. So I think this is going to work really well. So I'm going to take them into the other room and grind them down so they don't have these sharp edges to them. So I'm going to go do that right now, and I'm going to grind the back of this one too. So I'll be right back. And you're wondering what the heck your prosthetist is doing when they leave you alone in the room for 20 minutes. They're doing stuff like this, and they're waiting for glue to dry, and they're grinding things, and it does take a little while. So just give them a couple of minutes. They'll be back. Sometimes we can make this go a little faster by heating it. Heated too much though? Not good. And then I'm gonna see if I can fix this strap too while we're here. So this goes through here, and it doesn't like to stay. So right about there, that should be about the right placement. I think what I'll do is just put a little bit of Velcro in there to hold it in place. Where'd my trash can go? Alright. I think our glue is dry. Stick these pads in. Good. See those pads in there? We got the marks out. You smell that beautiful glue smell? So good. So now when we put this back in here, those pads will take up just a little bit of space inside the prosthesis and make it a tighter fit. So what we're gonna do there. So let me just cut 2 little pieces of Velcro here. Try that so it stays in place. If not, I'll rivet it. Velcro, my favorite substance. Side here. Stick it like this. Easier. All right, I think it's time to try it on again. boa closure system. It's the type they use on ski boot bindings and some sneakers. But there's a great application for prosthetics, so if you have a limb that's a little bit bigger on the bottom than the top, you can make this back piece that completely comes out so you can get into the socket easily. And the way it works is you pop it, and it becomes loose, and the whole back of the prosthesis comes off. And then, when you want to tighten it, you press that button back in, and you click, turn it in. Move it around a little bit, seat it in there okay, and then you tell me when it's the right tightness. That feel okay right about there?
Okay, yeah.
Yep. And that looks pretty good. We've got just a little bit of room to work with, and I like it.
Awesome.
And even underneath, woohoo!
I can't go
Love
any
it.
closer than that.
That's okay, that's the strap up here that's keeping you from bending. So
yeah.
we just have that little bit of auxiliary suspension.
Well, when I'm sitting down, so
Mhm.
I'm not just,
Exactly,
Gotcha.
yeah, just make that strap a little looser.
now I'm gonna get up and walk.
Yep, let's try it. I'm guessing since we switched out your shoes, that the prosthesis is not gonna be the right height. And we're gonna find out.
Okay.
So the prosthesis looks a little tall right now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have you stand up. There you go. Good. And just put both your feet kind of shoulder width apart.
Like that?
So like this. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And try to put kind of equal weight on both your feet if you can. There you go. You can hold on. You can totally hold on to the parallel bars. There you go. So I want this knee straight. Okay. And it looks like the prosthesis needs a little adjusting. So it's too flexed right now. So I'm going to extend it a little bit. And I'm thinking, I'm going to try putting this under this foot here. So you think you can pick that foot up without putting...
Just one foot?
Yeah, exactly.
like that.
Okay, perfect. And step on down. How's that feel? A little more even? I'm just
Yeah,
going to
it
find
does,
it
actually,
here.
yeah, it feels
Yeah.
even.
Good.
Mhm.
Sorry. I'm really ticklish too. This is no fun. Yeah, that looks pretty even. I'm going to try one more here, just to see. So I'm going to have you pick up that foot one more time. Nice job. Okay. How's that? A little bit better?
Yeah, I understand. Look at you, you know that, yeah? Yeah.
We'll go right between those two, I think, is going to be perfect. So have a seat for a sec. There you go. Nice. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'll bring my tools in here, but I just need to take this pipe down. Just half an inch.
Hi, my name is Stuart Ferruccio. I'm a certified prosthetist, and we've just fit Mr. Enright with his below-knee prosthesis called transtibial prosthesis. It's adjustable from the back, so hopefully it will shape his leg while he's wearing the prosthesis so that he can fit his definitive much better. All right, so with this brace,
Prosthesis.
prosthesis, yeah. So you pop that open. That allows this whole back panel to open up, okay? Like that. And you wear this with the shrinker sock, all right?
Okay.
And you wear that too, like you've been doing. But now when you wear this and this, I'm going to suggest you wear a sock.
Okay.
That way you can give this, you can wash this, and you're going to wear one of these guys.
They do stick out the oil.
Yeah, you gotta wash. I mean, you gotta wash. You're gonna perspire and everything. So this is, I believe it's a 3-ply. Yeah, these are 3-ply socks, and they come in different plies. Okay. So if you want it tighter, typically you get a tighter or thicker sock. So right now we're gonna start off with a 3-ply. Oh, and it has a hole on the bottom for, grab the one, I don't want the hole on the bottom, but, let's see. So you got that. Is it tender down here?
Mm-hmm.
That bothers you a little bit?
A little bit,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. So you wear the sock, wear this over that, slide this on. Alright,
Yeah.
push that button back in, and start cranking. And that should make everything tighter. Alright, and this, you don't really need to take this apart. This should stay in like this.
Mm-hmm.
But you want this blue pad kind of like over your knee. Like that. And this goes like this, goes in there. Want that to catch your top of your kneecap like that, and that's snug, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's in the right spot, this is not coming off, right?
Okay.
And then Marina, trim the back, so you should be able to bend your knee better. Then, yeah, that's pretty good,
Let's see. Yeah.
all right?
Yeah. Didn't go that far.
Well, we don't want too much, or else you're going to be moving around too much in there, so go ahead and stand up for me.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
How's the height feel? A little bit better?
Yeah, a little better.
How's the pressure on the bottom feel? Any better?
Sore.
It's still sore, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be a while before you can really put a lot of weight on that if it's really tender like that.
There's no way I can put a pad down at the end of that. So.
No, but if you put a pad in it, because it's a closed system, it's going to be more pressure there.
Okay.
Be softer, but it'd be pushed on you harder. So the only way to make it feel less pressure on the bottom is to make sure that socket is nice and tight. Because it's like, you know, if you squeeze, let's say you have a tube of toothpaste, you half use it, you know, you can move up and down in it. But you squeeze it, it stretches you out.
There you look.
There you go. So you can put some weight on it.
A wee bit.
Yeah. But you want to make sure it's nice and tight. That way it gives you the most support and it keeps you off the bottom as much as possible. Now when your leg gets skinnier, there's a certain shape to everyone's leg. There's this bone right in here that curves underneath like that. And this tapered effect, you get more weight bearing on the sides and less on the bottom. But when you're bulbous like that, I can't use those weight bearing surfaces. So all your weight has to be on the bottom, unless we can get it tight enough that squeezes the sides and like a tube of toothpaste is squishing you out of it. And that's the only way I can get you off the bottom so much. Okay? So go ahead and try taking some steps. So whenever you walk with a walker or even the parallel bars, your hands go first. So they go way out to where your walker would be, like that. Put your prosthesis out first. That way Your hands are there to put weight on it as you put your weight on the leg, and then step through. Hands, prosthesis, and walk through. Hands, prosthesis, and walk through. That's how you do it. And there you go. I can tell you're using more of the leg because you're bending it at the right time. You must be feeling a little better than the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
So it's sore around.
Yep, yep.
A little bit.
So you got 6 of those socks. I'll get 5 more over there. So you feel free to wear. Go ahead, turn. Feel free to use them, wash them as you need to. So we've got a good vertical pylon when he's on his left leg. And when you stand on it, does it feel like it's holding you straight up and down, or do you feel like you're on your heel or on your toes?
See, I have a little bit of balance.
Good, good.
I'll get used to it.
And well, this is only the first socket, so there'll be times when we have to change the socket too as you get smaller.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Sit down.
Yep, have a seat. Let's see you take this on and off. So, taking it off.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a Velcro behind the knee. Just slide that off, and that's all you do there. And then pop the back. That button, pull that button firmly out, real hard. There you go. Now everything should fall out. There you go. And that's it. That's how you get it off.
I want to test it.
Yep. So there you put it on.
Okay.
Yep, that's right. Okay, make sure you're nice and straight in it first.
I'll be doing the front one.
Yeah,
see
push
how
it in
it's
first.
spinning?
Oh, that's a
There
good
you go.
Oh, right. I'll make sure this is up.
It'll go where it needs to go. The thing is, that doesn't look straight. This needs to be aligned a little bit better.
Oh, that.
Yeah. You can rest your foot on the ground. Make it easier.
Oh.
Right there, like that.
Ah, like that.
Yeah, okay. And then go ahead and straighten this part first. See if you can grab it, just kind of straighten this part like that. And then twist the outside relative to that. There you go. Make sure you're all the way in.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Okay. All right. This?
Just goes on that.
Yeah, it always falls out, so just tuck that in. That, and then wrap that around the back of your leg.
Okay.
Yep.
It goes in there. And hit presto.
Yep, just take out all the slack.
Yeah.
Right there. Pull that like that. And then,
Are these washable, like these socks?
yes, they are washable.
That was great.
Well, right now your leg is healing very well. The pain's gone. Obviously, it feels a lot better. But the muscle belly is still prominent enough that it makes this, the bottom half of your leg fatter than the middle part of the leg. And that makes it very difficult for you to get into a conventional socket. So this is a non-conventional, since it has that turnbuckle, or not turnbuckle, but the dial on the back to tighten it up. So we will have to be creative. If you don't shrink down soon enough, we'll have to be creative and develop something that you can get into a little bit more easier, but still be able to get into it. Because the conventional socket, you're not going to be able to fit this part of the leg into this part of the socket. Right?
Hello, my name is Larry Enright, and I'm here at FDR today getting a fitting for my new leg. And Stuart shall be back in a few minutes to tell you what he's doing. Okay. How's that? Of course I got it every now and again.
Yeah, I know. It's just,
Nerves.
must drive you crazy.
It does.
All right, let's see if we can get into this. What's this?
It's normal looking. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
That's how it be. Yeah, that's not what you take home. That's the design. So last week, we had the rubber liner, which you practiced putting on today, and we casted your limb with that on it. So that way, the final shape of the socket is the shape of your leg with the extra material of the liner so that it should fit the shape of your leg like it did today. So we took the cast was taken to our lab. The cast, when we look at it, we fill it with plaster, take off the cast on the outside, we have a plaster mold of your leg. That plaster mold will have texture to it from the casting material, from the sock or whatever. So we have to smooth all that out and modify it in such a way that in case you atrophy sooner than later, this bone will be protected. Okay, so we made a little bit extra room for that bone. And today we tried that out. And did you feel any pressure on this bone?
No.
Okay, because we made some room for it, and it held your limb into the prosthesis with a pin, so the leg will not fall off. You no longer need to have the strap that goes above your knee. So that holds it on. But if you atrophy, which I think you will have to use more of these socks as time goes on to compensate for the decreased dimension of your limb. If you don't, it's okay if you're comfortable. But if you're not comfortable or you feel a little unstable because it's so loose, that's why you have to use the socks. It's purely for comfort and keep you more stable. I have people wearing 20 ply of socks. That's 5. I have people wearing 20 plies of socks. They're comfortable. I would like to make them a new leg, but you know, it's not warranted because they're working and dealing with money. So some people wear 2 plies of socks and they say it's too much and they can't deal with it. Usually those are really skinny people,
Right.
and so the limb is so bony as it is, and they shrink a little bit more. The 2-ply socks just doesn't compensate as well. Where you've got a big limb, you shrink a little bit, it's still a big limb. Add the sock on, it's still just padding.
So next week, I get the leg that you're going to make now,
Uh-huh.
and I'll be able to take that leg home.
Yes.
Is that the one I keep
Yes.
forever until I need another one?
Yes. Now, that one, we are waiting for you also to do the mobility predictor because we think we can get you a better foot than what you just walked on. So go ahead and see if we can take the leg off a little easier this time so you know how it works.
Hi, my name is Dina, and I'm the office administrator here at the FDR Center for Prosthetics and Orthotics. And what I do is I greet the patients coming in the door, I schedule appointments, and I also assist with ordering any supplies that may be necessary for those that need them.
Ready for my play. Should I go on down here or okay, sit down here. Oh, no.
Go down there.
Okay, great.
Yep. All right.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Bye.
All right, to get out, you have to push the button in, hold it in,
Yeah.
and pull it off.
Oh, yeah.
All right? But if you shove it in with your muscles tight, it's going to make this hard and you won't be able to get in. So you want to bend your knee and just kind of like push it down. All right, so as we try it out a couple of times, you're probably going to get looser and looser, so we may have to put a sock on as you're wearing it today.
Right.
But let's have you stand up and see how it feels, okay?
Well, I've just received my new leg. There she is.
Well, I'd like to thank you for watching the film, and this is just a small part of what we do here at the FDR Center. Our specialties are prosthetics and orthotics. We make artificial limbs, as you've seen, but we also make a number of other things like braces for people with physical disabilities. That includes braces for your legs and your arms. We also make artificial arms as well. And I'd like to show you some of our staff. Right here on my left is Stuart Ferruccio, and he's our director of prosthetics here. And he's the man that you're generally going to be seeing first. And on my right is Marina Musicus. Okay, and Marina is the future of our company. She's a prosthetist and orthotist as well. So now you've met our staff. I want you to also meet Dina. Now Dina is the person who's going to solve all your insurance problems and make your appointments, so you really want to get to know her too. But I do want to thank you for joining us today, and I hope you enjoyed the film. And you got a little look at what we do here at our facility at the FDR Center in Nashua, New Hampshire, and in Burlington, Massachusetts. Thank you.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. to be.